True underdog. Unleash the power within.
Jason Waller here, true underdog, unleash the power within. We've got a great podcast and YouTube show for you today. I've got my co-host, John LeBlanc, and we've got someone special, Olivia Gianella, visiting us today on the podcast. How are you doing, Olivia?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic. So how's the weather right now in Jersey with all this going on? Do you guys at least have sunshine, or is Jersey kind of a gray state like Michigan? I've got a home in Michigan and North Carolina. I can tell you, Michigan is as gray as it gets. What's Jersey like?
So this whole week is super cloudy. Yesterday was really sunny. It was really nice. I went for a run, but it's super cloudy, rainy, not good weather. I see the weather in LA is really nice, but not here.
LA and Miami's always nice.
Yeah, always nice.
We all would live there, I promise. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about, introduce yourself to the listeners and the viewers here of who you are and what you're doing right now as a female boss out there in today's world. What are you doing right now, Olivia?
Right now, I'm on Instagram influencing a lot of brands. Previously, I was a vape e-cigarette spokeswoman for this company in China, but it's based in Kuwait. And, just trying to market myself really well and get my name out there. I'm getting into acting, so that's another thing I'm looking forward to doing. I'm in acting school and I'm pursuing that. It's a struggle, but, I'm here for the long run and it's going to be worth it in the end. I'm really excited. That's pretty much it.
I think that you noticing that it's a struggle and what the odds are and saying that you're still going to grind to do it is exceptional. I mean, we talk about that all the time on the show, that there's no elevator in life and you got to take a step each day. And so knowing that acting is a very hard industry to strike into, right? So, but you're very optimistic about it. I think that's great. Yeah,
I think if you go into something that you really are not accustomed to, like with modeling for me, well, now I'm going into acting and I could tell it's cutthroat. Like you have to want it. You have to want it more than the other person wants it. And you have to, go to these castings, wait online. And if you don't want to wait online, then change what you want to do because it's not worth it for you then.
Is it like what we see on TV? Where there are people sitting in line for the casting calls? I don't know. I've never done it.
Wow. So, for example, modeling, there was a casting call for Nike. The line was around the block. And everyone is waiting on it because at the end of the day, you never know. You don't know if if they like your look. They don't like your look. You just don't know.
So how long have you been doing that? How long have you been in that? So modeling and acting. Okay,
so acting, I just started. I'm actually at school at Stella Adler right now in Financial District. I love it. So that's why I'm pursuing this. And modeling was since 2018, so 2 years. 2 years now. And I'm still, modeling for brands. There's a store in Garden State Plaza that I model for. And I did a campaign for this company called Baller. That's like when I first started out. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, 2 years, 2.5 years.
Do you stay busy? We've seen a lot of, influencer branding, online marketing. Our business at, Power Home Solar, obviously we're a solar company, but we're really a marketing company that does solar as well, right? We spend almost, $4.5 million online on social media, driving traffic and driving customers to our site to be educated. But one thing that I've noticed in several different publications and articles is influencer marketing is the future. And we've seen that. We've partnered with certain players or, actors or athletes or whatever it is in different sections to where we've actually had them sponsor our brand. And it's been very lucrative for us as a business, and it's worked. Is that kind of what it is that you're doing for these brands?
Yes. So for example, if you want to work with a certain influencer, another brand reached out to me. It's like a razor brand, and they liked my analytics. So basically, if you want to reach out to an influencer, I would definitely check out their analytics. Like my profile is 94% male. So 94%, the male population is following my Instagram account. And that's why they paid me to promote their brand. So I would definitely say that it depends who you're going to market this product, because like having a male audience is better with a female audience, especially if I'm trying to sell male razors. So
exactly, that makes sense. So I don't want to see John shaving his face, and I'm like, I want to buy that razor, John.
Yeah.
Right.
So go ahead, John.
So with your influencer gig, how many brands can you, I guess, influence or partner with at one time? And is there like non-competes that you do, or can you just take anything on that you want to do?
Can I say the brand? It's okay.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, for example, I did something for Rockstar Energy, and then Bang Energy reached out to me as well, and I wouldn't do both. Because
is that like, I love Bang Energy more than Rockstar. That sucks. I love Bang. I'm always saying Bang is sponsoring our podcast.
So I don't drink that stuff at all, but I mean, I'll take a picture with it and a video with it. That's fine. It's just that I just don't drink it. And I said to myself, like, why would I promote something that I'm not really ingesting, especially flat tummy tea? I don't know if you know those flat tummy teas.
I don't. John does.
A lot of influencers post it. I posted it, and I said to myself, like, why am I posting this? Like, it's a laxative and I shouldn't be promoting this. The best way to lose weight is to eat healthy and work out. Like, that's it. But I would say that if a brand reached out to me and I didn't like them, I would decline it. Absolutely.
So integrity is important to you and who you're actually influencing, which I think is cool. You're not just selling out for any product that's going to pay. You got to believe in it.
Yeah, I definitely have to believe in it.
We're looking to partner with a IndyCar driver, and he believes in solar. He reached out to us, and he's a champion. So we're pretty excited about that opportunity to do something with him, but it's something he believes in. It's the same thing. We've installed solar at 5 NFL teams, and if they want us to be a corporate sponsor, and we want to be able to use their logo, we're like, we don't think it's a good partnership unless you're using our solar. So I get the concept. We were very familiar with that. So before you started doing this, let's talk about your childhood, Olivia. What was it like growing up? Have you always been from Jersey, or what was it like being a kid?
Okay, so I was born in Brooklyn, and then we moved to Hudson County, and I went to private school all the way till second grade. I was the only white girl in this private school because I was with all Koreans and Asians, and I definitely felt a little left out. I went to Catholic school. I didn't like it at all. I actually gained a lot of weight, and then we moved to Bergen County, and I met a lot of friends. I was in soccer, but I gained a lot of weight. I was actually really heavy when I was younger.
What ages was this like middle school, high school?
Oh yeah. So middle school. Middle school is when I was in Bergen County, a little bit of fifth grade. And I was, just struggling with eating at that point in my life. And then high school happened. I was in sports, soccer, lacrosse, cheerleading. I tried to do it all. And I loved it. I love lacrosse, my favorite sport. And that's it. I mean, growing up, the only difficulty was the eating. Like, it was just a lot of, skinny people around me. And I just couldn't really focus on what I wanted. I was just overeating, which I think a lot of people do, and they're not really realizing it.
So you think a lot of it was what you were eating, not genetics?
No.
Jason?
No. So basically, when I went to a nutritionist, because I was just like, why am I like this? Like, why do I look at food differently than the other person? And she basically said, talk me through your childhood. And I said, okay. And then I remember certain things, like my parents and my grandparents telling me, don't eat this, don't eat this, don't eat this. And I would purposely want to eat it because they're telling me no. So I would just shove it in my mouth like an idiot and overeat. And then,
real quick, were your parents on the healthy spectrum of food? And that's
my mom. Yeah. And then I'm Italian. So, we have pasta every night, and it's fine to have pasta every night, just in moderation. Like, I was just abusing it. And that was it. And then I was in high school, still dealing with this. And then I lost a little bit of weight. And then the nutritionist helped me a lot because
What was that like in school? Did people make fun of you? Because I know I've got 3 daughters that they go to school, and I know girls can be mean. So was there any bullying? Or it was just an insecurity that you had individually?
It was an insecurity I had. And like, there was no bullying, none of that. But like, you're in that environment, like, you're around all skinny girls, like, you just feel a little self-conscious, and it was just a lot. It was a lot for me.
You're going to have a lot of listeners that hear this, a lot of ladies at home that have grown up this way, or younger females that feel like what you were feeling, and that are going to be stuck in that grind of, I don't like being the big girl in the group, or I don't like feeling like I'm the heavy girl in the group, and they're self-conscious a lot. Where was it, did it affect the way you acted out in public? I mean, did it make you adjust some of the things that you were scared to try and do?
So no, it never changed. Like, I would still continue like doing sports and stuff, and I would do everything. Just the only thing was myself telling myself, like, I'm looking at all these skinny girls, and it was it was really traumatic for me, because it wasn't until I met with my nutritionist, and she said, like, there's no reason for you to overeat. The food's not going anywhere. It's there. You just, like, there's no reason to abuse it. And then realizing that I had a problem with eating was a big step for me. So
Olivia, as you, this is kind of my background, right? As Jason's mentioned in many pods before, but like, this is an extremely difficult task for a lot of people, especially depending on your upbringing, your social network, all that stuff. But there's emotional eating, there's stress eating, there's all these different types of eating, right? And then there's these hurdles that we have to overcome, right? One is education. You reach out to a nutritionist, and that's amazing. But look, I've educated multiple clients in my past on how to eat and when to eat and what should we choose. But at some point, you've had to absorb this education. You've got to know what to eat, and then you've got to develop this habitual routine, which is even harder to implement in your life when you're used to eating and craving certain foods. Mm-hmm. You have to get past that. And you've got all these influencers, for lack of a better term, right, that are trying to give you tips and tricks, and you've got to walk down your path. When did you feel like you fully gained control? And maybe you still are fighting that control or that battle, but when did you feel that? Was there an aha moment where you're like, I got this shit?
Yeah.
My aha moment was, I basically said to myself, well, this was after high school, like I was in college. And I said to myself, like, if I want to model and if I want to achieve my goals, I have to want it 100%. And I have to ultimately control this eating issue that I had, which, yes, till this day, I still look at food differently, but I have discipline. And it's really important to just always step back and say, like, what do you want? What do you want from this? Like, you can't just overindulge, because you'll beat yourself up about it, and it's just not okay. But basically, I just said to myself, like, what do you want? Do you want a model? Okay, so get this under control, and I got it under control. I believe it's all about the mind, like knowing what you want. If you want to live a healthy lifestyle, it's 100% possible. Just know what you want. Don't do it right away. I'm not saying stop what you're doing and eat a kale salad and, go vegan. I'm saying that over time, like, think of your choices.
Yeah, did it take you some time? Like, what were some of the key steps that you did, and what tips could you give out there? Like, it wasn't like overnight, okay, I'm done with everything. Yeah. Was it gradual, or how did that work?
So, it wasn't, I would say it wasn't gradual. So basically I was in a 5-year relationship in high school and a little bit in college. And this is when I was battling with eating. And he left. I cheated on him. He cheated on me, and then I left him. And then I starved myself for a really long time. And and then I started wanting to eat, and then I would just overeat. So basically I had to really kind of start from scratch. And then I would think about my past when I was younger, what I would do with eating. But I mean, I'm sorry, what were you saying? What was the question?
Well, no, I was asking, you said I asked if it was gradual or instant, but it sounded like you went through a 5-year relationship where it went bad, and then you starved yourself.
Yeah.
Then you had bad habits.
That was instant. Like, I instantly lost 30 pounds.
Wow.
And then by eating like a cracker a day. And then I was like, I need to eat food. Like, I said to myself, like, I need to eat food. And then I would overeat and then undereat and then starve myself. And it was just not healthy. And then I, got healthy. I saw the proper people that I should see. And that was it. So, yeah, that was it.
That's a battle. I mean, I give you credit. That's a battle. And people struggle with that for so long. And they continue to struggle. I think everybody, like we live in a world where it's like an alcoholic living in a bar when it comes to food and nutrition, right? We want to eat healthy, but there's so much temptation around us now, and it's so easily accessible with DoorDash or Grubhub or whatever,
I'm guilty, and I want to be healthy. This is inspiring. I want to be healthy, but I go for like 2 days and then I go, oh man, but it does inspire me because, like me and my wife, we've been together since high school. Mm-hmm. And so we were kids raising kids, and my wife is, me and her go to the gym, we work out, but then we eat bad. And then, she beats herself up probably more than I do being a female. But then even, some of my daughters, they get, I want to do this. And then they'll eat bad. And I think we're all guilty of it. Like you said, John, you're right. That's the perfect analogy. It's like an alcoholic being in a bar. It is tough. And like Olivia said, you if you want it bad enough, you'll do something about it. And obviously me and my family aren't there yet, but we should be. But yeah, I think you're right. And it is a tough thing. Like, I feel like I've been able to accomplish a lot of things in life. That's not one of them. So kudos to you. I have struggled with that. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm motivated. I'm going to get down to 190, and then I'll get to like 205, and then bam, I'll fail again. Mm-hmm. I've been able to do other things, but not that. So, I mean, I know that's a tough battle. So kudos to you for that.
Yeah.
And being Italian. I mean, you got to love pasta. That's got to be hard, right?
Yeah,
no kidding. Wow.
Yeah, I still eat pasta. I still have pastries. I just have it in moderation. Like, there's no reason to eat the whole box of pastries. There's no reason to do that. Like, you can have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It's not going anywhere. So that's the mentality I had to keep saying to myself. That's why I'm telling you guys.
You mentioned the vegan diet. What about like gluten-free? Do you believe in the gluten-free stuff too?
I mean, sure. If I wanted to be gluten-free, fine. But I'm not. I eat pasta. I eat gnocchi. I just made fresh pasta the other day with my family. Like, I'm not completely cutting out certain things. I would say I definitely watch my dairy. I don't like to eat a lot of dairy because it really upsets my stomach. And then on my face, I feel like I would break out from it a lot.
It's common. Mm-hmm. Dairy deal. I'm lactose intolerant, so I have to keep it out. And if I have it, man, it's not good.
And plus, like, the alternative.
I what?
I said, I'm going to get John cheese for Christmas.
No.
Vegan cheese.
Yeah, I do vegan cheese on my pizza.
Plus, like milk too, like substituting milk for almond milk or oat milk. Like it tastes the same, and I love it. Like it tastes the same.
I was an anti-almond milk person, but I am an almond milk person now. I can say during this COVID, it was hard to get real milk, and so I want cereal, and I like the oats type cereal with raisins and the almonds. So I'm like, oh, and I know that's fat for you, but it's also, I feel like it's good for the heart. It's oats, right? So I eat that, and I got addicted to almond milk. I'm digging.
Oh my God, almond milk is delicious. Vanilla almond milk is so good.
Chocolate almond milk's legit too, by the way. That's better than normal.
Of course.
I like chocolate almond milk.
I'm sure you do.
So you struggled through some weight issues, and you overcame that, right? And then you started to put your stuff together of goals that you wanted to be in modeling and acting, and you aspired to get into that section of the business. You mentioned a little bit earlier that you worked for a vape company out of China. What was that experience like?
So working in Shenzhen was really fun. And I was meeting new people and meeting everyone from the vape e-cigarette world. So what happened was I was a promo model for this vape company called JDI. And I started becoming friends and, being like cordial with the owner, who is the head of like the whole operation in Shenzhen. So basically he said, I love your look. I love your body. Would you represent us in Shenzhen? And I was 20. This was 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. And my parents were like, you're not going to China. Like, you're not going. They're going to kidnap you or, sell you. And I said, no, like I'm going to go and get my visa at the embassy because that's what I had to do. And then I got my plane ticket within like a month and a half. Everything I was in China, Shenzhen, going to the vape expo and meeting manufacturers, distributors, factories. And it was an amazing experience.
How long were you in China for?
It was, I think, 8 or 9 days.
Wow.
Yeah, 8 or 9 days. And I actually was supposed to go in April, but I didn't.
I'm sorry if I missed it. How did you link up with the vape company? Did they seek you out? Did you seek them out?
No. So some girl on Instagram DM'd me and was like, do you want to do this vape expo in Brooklyn? And I said, yeah, sure. Why not? I'll do it. I'll just have to be there for 3 days. And then the owner of the company was there, and I was talking to him, and he liked the way that I was talking to his clients and getting more people inside the booth and stuff. So he said he gave me a contract to go to China.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it says here you've also done some music videos and commercials and then a magazine cover. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so the music videos, I was in, do you want me to tell you the...
Yeah, sure. Let's hear about it.
My first one was Fetty Wap. It was really exciting because he's from Patterson, and that's right by me.
Fetty Wap is trap music, rap, I'm thinking?
Yes, like rap music, yeah.
I see, I'm a little hip. I got it. See, I'm not bad. I got it.
Jason really wants to be in a music video. He's one of those guys that would kill in a music video. I would
do okay.
Never know. I could picture you like the driver.
I could be.
The driver.
I don't know about that. I'd have to drop some beats and let them know, with my little swag in my hat. I don't know if I could drive. I'd have to do a little more, but yeah.
And then I did some for A Boogie, Little TJ. I did one about 7 months ago with Busta Rhymes and Anderson .Paak. And that one was really cool. Like Busta Rhymes blew up the Rolls Royce and I was inside of it. And then commercials, I did car commercials in Bergen County. I did an NBA commercial, which I met a lot of Knicks players, were really nice. And I'm trying to see what other commercials I've done.
What about the magazine cover? What was that about?
Okay, so the magazine cover was I was really excited about that because so I'm not a signed model. Like I'm not signed with an agency. I really do a lot of things my own, and I again market myself to certain brands and try to get my face out there. And my goal right now is to be with an agency. So when they reached out to me, the BC the Mag, I was shooting it with this other model who I'm friends with her. She is a Wilhelmina model, and she's signed. So when I was there getting my hair and makeup done, I was like, okay, she's going to be on the cover. Like she's with an agency. And then all of a sudden they were like, we want you on the cover. And I was like, oh my God, I was so happy because I want to be with this girl's agency and I'm freelance, model. It was really cool. And my parents loved the magazine because they get it every month. Yeah. So it was cool.
So how cool is that? I mean, think about this. You were a girl growing up in Brooklyn and moving around, going to schools where you were an outsider and a minority, where you didn't feel like you belonged and felt and struggled through some of that. You struggled through weight gain where you were insecure about it. You didn't let it affect your desire to play sports, which obviously has that competitive edge that you keep talking about how you've got goals. So that competitiveness, I believe, comes from sports. But then you turned around and you had enough. It's unfortunate you had a bad relationship that imploded that, but sometimes that's what it takes. It takes some big catastrophe or issue to change someone's life and for them to go, I've had enough, right? I've got to change this. And then you took that and then you started to build your goals one step at a time. Like, I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to take care of my body. I'm going to, try to market myself and learn how to do this and not sell out to products I don't believe in, and then be a part in networking. And I think networking is so important. One of the things I always preach is there's never a call that you shouldn't take because you never know where it's going to go. I've learned that so much in business. My third business that I've been a part of growing. First two I sold. This one's too big. I can't sell. The goal is to make it go public. And I've got great people like John and other folks on the team that are building this machine. But so many relationships are taken on a call that I'm like, that's going to be a waste of time, or I don't know if I want to do that. And then sometimes that percentage turns into, wow, I'm so glad you did that. And it seems like you continue to network and brand yourself. And like you mentioned, you're with so many different brands that you believe in. You did the cool gig in China. And then now you've got, you did the car, a couple of the car things, the music videos. I love Busta Rhymes, so that's great. I don't know any of the other ones. I think it's Fetty Wap, you said?
Yeah. Ebook's a big one too.
Yeah, my kids know him better than me. They're the biggest Post Malone fans I've ever seen. And I went to
Post Malone. I always go to concerts.
My 16-year-old says she's Mrs. Malone. That's who she's marrying. She's had enough, right? Because she's narcolepsy and he has always tired on his eyes. She's like, that's her dream guy. But yeah, I that's just exciting stuff. And you're living the type of lifestyle that a lot of young ladies want to live, right? A lot of young ladies that are on Instagram that want to model, that are scared, that are intimidated, that are insecure, that feel like they're going to be judged, and they're just nervous of what's next. What advice would you give out to those girls that are they want to take that leap, but they're so nervous?
So I would definitely say, yes, be nervous at first, but always be cautious. Don't trust anybody. And definitely in this industry, like you should just trust yourself and your family. But what I would say is if you really want to do this, give it all you got, 110%. Always network, always talk to brands. I remember when I first started, I would email like 50 brands. Hey, like, do you want to collaborate? I'll post your shirt. Cause you never know who's going to repost it. And a big thing on Instagram, like why I started getting followers was because I would look at influencers who had like 1 million followers and be like, oh my God, how did she blow up? And I would check her tagged pictures. I would see every single account who would tag her and post her. And those accounts, I would DM my picture and say, hey, can you feature me? Can you post me? Can you post me? Can you post me? Can you post me? until I was blue in the face. I would do this all the time. And then Barstool posted me. They always post me for Halloween and all this stuff. And then Chive or Chivette would post me a lot. And, these are all like free advertising. Like they're just going to post you because you're a hot girl and, you're promoting whatever you're promoting. And then those followers ultimately get you jobs and you make money at home.
Wow. And through that process, you probably heard a lot of no's and had to just ignore it, right?
Yeah.
Just move on, right?
Of course. I mean, I just watched this motivational video last night. She was talking about like, I love a good no, because it just adds fuel to yourself. Like if you tell me no, like it's not going to stop me. I'm going to find a way to, promote myself, whether it's making a t-shirt, or I used to have like lighters with my face on it and like my Instagram underneath. It doesn't matter. Like just keep going. If you want to work from home, travel the world, you can do it. Just keep posting good content. What do people like? Ask questions, all this stuff.
It's like sales 101, right, John? I mean, we did that with Brian Elias, but I always say you got to have haters, and then haters got to become fans, and then you got to get more haters. You got to get the no's, and you got to get the naysayers to start following. There's never bad press, I believe.
Never.
I mean, it's bad customer service, but there's never bad press. I mean, we just had, unfortunately, I've got the company I own, they don't pay me to put my face on it. My face is everywhere. And I don't know if that helps or makes it worse. But we had an employee recently that crossed out my eyes and put like a mustache on and sent it to Kevin. And Joe was telling me in the hallway right before this podcast, dude, somebody in Troy was drawing your face and making some signs. I don't know if you heard about that yet, John.
No.
Picture was taken and sent over, Johnson Troy. I'm like, I love it. I wish everybody would do that, because then they're looking at the material, right? That's what it's about. So pay attention to material, not worry about what people say. Yeah. I think it's what you keep telling everybody. I mean, you're DMing these people and these companies, and you're utilizing your resources to really grow your business, which is you and your brand. And the no's just lead closer to yeses. That's the deal. Yeah. And like you said, if you're all in, you need to be all in. You can't be half in. You can't teeter with it and then go, okay, I'm not going to do it. You need to be all in. I agree. And I think that's why you're doing really good right now in your career. I think that's awesome.
Thanks.
John, any final comments on this?
No, look, I'm attached to the, obviously, the story of you overcoming just some emotional things that have happened in your life, and that led you to a negative spot. You didn't like it and you overcame that. And I've seen how hard that is. I've never had to overcome a weight loss story, but I've seen people grind through it. And I do want to ask a final thought, like how you're in a career that image is your career.
Yeah.
So you have to be more confident than ever with yourself. So is there any battles that you continue to struggle with, or have you overcome, I would say, the final hurdle in accepting yourself for who you are and the package you have to deliver?
I definitely accept myself for who I am. I'm not perfect. With the eating, I would say that I do have struggles, and the only reason why I got help because I wanted to pursue something. I wanted to feel better about myself. I mean, there was a point where I was eating so much sugar that I would not leave my house because I was so tired, and I would just sleep all day. Like, that's not healthy. Why would you hurt yourself like that? So if again, like I said, if you want something, like, you have to do something about it, and you have to really change your lifestyle and change your mindset. Another thing that helped me was The Secret. Ask, believe, receive. Wait,
hold on. What does that mean? Because John seems like he understood and I don't. What does that mean?
Okay, so The Secret is basically law of attraction. So you should you should watch it. You should watch it.
A book and a movie, I believe, right?
Yeah,
I can't do the book, but I can do the movie. But tell me about it. Give me the cliff notes.
Okay, so I would watch the movie, but a story I really liked while watching the movie was this guy. He was in a helicopter crash, and they said he's never going to walk again. And he said to himself in the hospital bed, I'm going to walk out of this hospital. Like, I'm going to walk out. I'm going to walk out. And I totally believe it was his mind and him basically healing himself by him saying, I'm going to walk out. I'm going to walk out. And he ended up walking out of there. People were saying like, it's a miracle. But also another thing I want to say, I'm super grateful for my parents, because my dad showed me The Secret when I was really young, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then now I'm watching it now, making sure I'm, really using it towards my goals, because The Secret's real. Like, law of attraction's real.
This is a real thing. What you think about is what you bring about, and you're just mentally more aware of your surroundings when you're constantly thinking about them. So if you're constantly thinking about, health and fitness and gaining control in your life, you're gonna look for those things that you may have not seen and just passed by before, but now they're going to stand out to you. So I think that's powerful stuff.
And I think exactly what you guys are saying on a negative aspect. I'm always preaching to people that mindset is over everything. So if you think you're going to fail, you're going to fail. If you think something bad's going to happen, it's going to happen. You've got to train yourself to stay positive and look at it on a positive.
And another thing I would say to girls out there, or guys too, always protect your energy. Like, if you feel that you're in a you're talking to someone who just has a negative vibe and a negative energy, just get out of there. Just, okay, goodbye. Like, nice meeting you. That's it. Because ultimately it just ruins your mindset. Like, why would you want to listen to someone talk negatively about themselves for 20 minutes when you can be having a better conversation talking about a positive, healthy lifestyle? Like, it's just protect your energy always.
I like that. Amen to that. I agree with that 100%. Well, thank you for sharing your story with us. Hopefully we can catch up with you here in the future as well, and maybe bring you on again and sharing the story here for the listeners and the followers, and a lot of ladies out there that are, and guys, but that are struggling with weight loss. I think that is a huge accomplishment. So kudos to you. That is probably one of the hardest things anybody can do in their life. I mean, I've told you, I built 3 businesses and overcome a lot of different things. I struggle with that myself. I wish I could just, wake up and, have a 6-pack here like John, but I got to work on it harder and I got to be positive about it. So that's the deal. But we appreciate you having you on. John, anything you want to add before we go ahead and bam this out?
No, Olivia, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate you and appreciate your story.
So how can everyone find you, Olivia, in case someone hears us and wants to check you out and or get you an opportunity to be part of their brand?
So my Instagram is at Olivia Gianella. I'm sure you're going to post the name.
Yep.
And you can also email me at oliviagianella @yahoo.com. That's another email that people reach out to me. And I do have a YouTube channel, but I'm not really on it. So
perfect.
Not YouTube.
All right. Well, thank you guys for everyone for joining us. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you, John. We will catch you guys next week. Follow up and listen to our podcast at iHeartRadio, at Apple Podcasts, at Spotify. You can check out our YouTube channel, True Underdog, and you can also visit our website, trueunderdog.com. Bam!
Bam! Bam! True Underdog. Bam! Bam!